Welcome everybody to the very first edition of Titans Talk. As we get you ready for the 2021 West Forsyth Titans season, we are presented by Stanford Manufacturing. Also, we're sponsored by State Farm with Kim Bates as your agent in Winston-Salem and Beamer Tire and Auto. As for Beamer Tire and Auto, try a shop with a beating heart, not a bottom line. We got Jared Wilson coming up. Second half of the show, first half of the show, we start with the coach. Adrian Snow joins me, who was joking around because we share the same first and last name, as it turns out. I had him on Snowman in the morning. Coach, how are you? Good to talk to you.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Brian. I hope you're doing well. You're by far the better looking Snow, but other than that, it's a good thing. But it don't take much to be better looking than me.
Are you excited? Are you ready for the season? Are you ready for the season to go? Because I certainly am.
Yeah, I think it's a cool experience just for our kids to be ready to play. Right now, I'll be honest, I'm standing at a JV game where we normally Wednesday nights we ain't playing JV football, but because of what we did with the schedule, I had to run to my truck for the JV game. But it's exciting. I think the kids are ready to go. It's been a long time. And at this point, I think they're just ready to get after it and play a little football because, there's means a lot to the kids to just be a part.
Has it been tough on the kids to have to constantly scrimmage and constantly get themselves ready? Because when COVID shut everything down, the schedule and the timing was extended. And I know it played a lot in how you operated and how the team operated. Now that you had a chance to be around the kids, what's that transition and that process been like?
It's been a good thing. Just being around kids. I tell people I used to have, and you've not been around me as much, but I'm always messing with the kids, and I always had great comments and just mess. I used to tell kids that teaching would be good, be fun if they didn't show up every day. Like I would have that just a banter with them, and they would go, "Coach, that ain't right." I'll promise you, I'll never say that again. What we've dealt with has been awful. It ain't been fun, but the cool thing about it is we're back in it. And, for our kids, the great thing is they've just had another opportunity they've competed now we've been all fall. Now we've been through the middle of the winter here. We're trying to head in here to the spring. I think they're ready to do something different. And i.e. that is play somebody else. So we're excited about the opportunity, no doubt.
They're ready to get out there and they're ready to hit somebody. I know your team. I know your team is raring to go. Are there any? I know this is an obvious question. Any butterflies coming into the first game? Yes, it's in the spring. Yes, it's due to the pandemic and the shift in schedule. But do the same butterflies show up like it's time to go? How are those feelings?
I think it's just like any other first game. It's just a different first game just because of the timing. I ain't like to my body's not ready because it's just my mind is telling me we're in winter. We're supposed to be lifting weights and trying to get outside a little bit, throw a little bit. But, at the end of the day, you got to adapt and overcome. And that's a motto we've used with our kids. And we basically tried to get them going. And that's something we've done. And so it's been something that at this point, hey, it's here. And if you ain't ready, I promise you they're going to be ready. So, hey, here we go.
Adapt and overcome. I absolutely love that motto. Coach Snow joining me here on the premiere edition of Titans Talk. We're presented by Stanford Manufacturing. Well, let's dive in. Talk to me about how your offense looks and one of the first things that you want to establish in game one from play one.
Well, I think if you've been around West Forsyth football, we're going to run the football, and we feel like we've got to do a good job with that. And I think it starts with our front line. We've got 4 seniors up there that do a really good job, and it starts with you got Jared Wilson, Carter Marzano. You just got a great group of kids that just really get after it. And I'm just naming those two have been 3-year starters for us. It's just a good group, and they're a great group of kids. They work really hard, and then we got 2 really good backs, and Nazion Johnson, who's a senior. I try to get those guys, and Miles also up front too. I ain't got my roster. I always, when I get to talking to people, I just got names that roll off of me. But we just got a good group of kids. Javante Long's a good running back too. So both of those guys will carry the load for us at running back, and so we feel good about it. And like I said, it's just one of those things. Now you got to get up there and get going and see what happens.
Yeah, the first game is always the difficult game because especially now given the pandemic and the time extension. And it's a weird feeling that you're playing in February instead of the fall. But you mentioned something that's very, very important, and you also mentioned this on the morning show. Having that core on the offensive line, the senior leadership is really, really going to be key, especially for a team like yourselves that loves to run the football.
I agree. I think, and when also you talk about the time of year we are, and the weather and how that plays into effect of it. I think anybody, I don't care what you talk, any football coach will tell you you got to be able to run the football. If you can't run the football, you can't win. I know all these dudes,
Right.
all these spread teams that throw it and all that stuff, and air raid and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to run the football. If you can't run the football, you can't win. I mean, just you can go back and just look at any game, and that's just the way it is. But I think it just sets a foundation, and that's a good thing.
Titans Talk presented by Stanford Manufacturing, also presented by Beamer Tire and Auto. Coach Adrian Snow here with me to kick off the very first version of Titans Talk. Talk to me about your running backs. I mean, the experience is going to be key, but talk to me how these running backs are going to feed off of each other and then just have the rest of the plays and the players come together.
Well, first and foremost, the two running backs we got, I mean, they're thick as thieves. I mean, they're like brothers. They don't share the last name, but they're together all the time. And one of the cool things that they do that is really neat is they block for each other, and that is a positive. I mean, so they really kind of take some stuff where they get that done, and they block for each other. So, and it's not like, hey, I should be in there, you should be in there. I mean, we're going to split the time, and they're going to do what they're supposed to do. And both of them are really good. Najon, played for us last year on the varsity. He was behind two really good backs that we had last year. And so it's one. So it's like it's his turn, and his turn to jump in there and get done. But Javante's going to jump in there too, and both of them do a really good job, and it's really good. No doubt about it.
In being around your coaching staff and seeing everything come together, we're talking offense right now. Being around your staff, being around the kids, just getting that general good feeling going, especially to kick off the season. What has your staff, if anything, pointed out to you that you could incorporate either now or going forward in the season?
Well, I think one of the things that we've talked to about everybody, I think football teams, the great teams that are together and that understand, and that's something we've talked about. We use Leo as a motto too. We've got to love each other, and I think our society sometimes, that's what I love about football. And if you come watch our practice, you're going to see all races, you're going to see all sizes, you're going to see all speeds. A lot of them run like me, but a lot of them run not like me. And but I think what's cool about it is if, and that's the thing that people just don't understand about football, is that if you can if our society could be like our football team, we would be so much better off. I mean, it just because we could just, I mean, because we're together, and tomorrow we're fighting for one common goal, and we're all going to wear green, and we're all going to go out there. Yeah, we might all not look like each other, but it's okay. If we'll love each other and we'll pull for each other, and the cool thing that I've used is, you don't have to worry about yourself if you got everybody else worrying about you. Why do you need to worry about yourself?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
That's one of the things we try to talk about is, hey, pull for each other. And sometimes every play is not going to be a good play, and it's going to be okay. And if it ain't, the best thing you to do is just, hey, pick the guy up, let's get going, and we'll be ready to go. It's the next play mentality. Like last night, we had a situation in practice where it was a JV kid, but he was struggling snapping the ball. And I went up and just said, listen, it's okay, boss. The next play is the most important play, and you got to be ready to go. And I think that's the thing with our kids. If we love each other, we'll pull for each other. Those are the best teams.
I've been around this sport for some 25 years as a play-by-play announcer, and that Leo mentality, love each other mentality, is what I have always seen. I've also seen the other side of it where they don't, and they're just worried about padding their stats. But the best teams that I have been around have been the teams that pull for each other, that love each other, that pick each other up when they're down. Doesn't matter the race, the color, the creed, or whatever. when you come together as a team. And that's something I talked about a lot. When you come together as a team, you're ready to push hard for each other. You're ready to pick each other up. A 3-and-out series could lead to a touchdown series the next time you're out on the field. It's getting the feeling out there and showing your opponent we are for each other. We are one.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. We're going to learn. That's what's great about it. It's all of it's a learning experience. And you talked about series. Like this series is a learning experience for the next series. And you got to be ready to take it and kind of understand what we're trying to do and how we're trying to, whether it be attack them or they're attacking us and what we've got to do. All those things are important. And I think
So
that's a big part of it.
let's look at the defense. How does the defense look, and what are you going to employ this season, if anything, that's different from last year coming into starting tomorrow?
Well, I'll tell you, for us, if you talk about our defense, first of all, you talk about our linebacker core. It starts with Mac David. Mac David was a great player for us last year as a sophomore. Did a really good job. I mean, that dog can hunt. There's no doubt about it. And then we've basically we moved Chris Van Cleek down. He was played safety for us last year. Both of them will be juniors this year, and they enjoy hitting people. And it's kind of nice. I just have to try to make sure they don't hit us too hard, so we can get to Thursday or Friday. But I think for us that's a good deal. And then in the back we got a veteran safety in Jake Hill that does a really good job. Jake is very smart, understands football, does a really good job making sure we're lined up in the right place, going the right place. So we've got some veterans over there that have done a really good job for us that I think could be really good. We're young. We're young. I mean, we've got 18 seniors, and of those 18, I think 2 of them are first-year football players, and then the other of the 16, 8 of them are right now projected to be starters. I mean, so we've got some youth, but we've got a great group of kids, and like I said, they pull for each other and they roll. So.
Has it been tough for like the first timers to get acclimated within your team, or did something natural just happen for them where they're able to say, okay, these are the guys that I'm with. This is what we're learning. I can pick it up.
Yeah, I use like Malachi Jowers as a kid that came out as a track kid that never played football, but he came out and he played running back for us. Well, the Nazion and Javante have done a great job of mentoring and teaching, and I only got 2 eyes and one of them ain't real good. So the thing about it is like we gotta have some people to help out, and our kids. And if you basically do a great job picking each other up and coaching. And one, it shows you that you know what you're doing, but it also shows, hey, we can help each other. So that's a part of it. It's a good thing.
That's the coach, Adrian Snow, joining me for the premiere edition of Titans Talk as we get ready for Titans football for 2021. Coach, thank you very much. I really appreciate the time.
Hey, anytime. Appreciate what you guys do. Thank you. It's awesome that you're helping our kids in our football program.
This is Titans Talk presented by Stanford Manufacturing. And when we come back, we have a tackle that's going to be a dog. Bulldog, that is. You'll see more when we come back. This is the second half of Titans Talk, the premiere edition. As we get you ready for West Forsyth Titans football, we are presented by Stanford Manufacturing, and this segment is brought to you by State Farm. Contact Kim Bates in Winston-Salem for all of your insurance needs. And I want to welcome a fella dear to my heart because he plays the offensive line. This is Jared Wilson, and he is joining me right now. Jared, how are you, my man? Great to talk to you.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. What made you choose the University of Georgia to continue your education and to continue playing football? What attracted you to the Bulldogs?
Honestly, it's just home. Every time I went down there for a game, it was just nothing but love. My whole family came down there with me. My mom was first game, she was instantly in love. The education up there is top tier, and of course the football, is always top in the country up there, down there. So, it just felt like home, and I knew I wanted to be there, and I knew they wanted me there.
Did you figure out what you're going to study yet, or are you still deciding that?
I think maybe communications, but anything could change between now and my junior year. So
when you saw Stanford Stadium, what spoke to you about it first?
Honestly, I was speechless. It's just speechless when you go down there. The atmosphere is just crazy. It's just all you can do is just look around, take in that moment, and you know that your future is going to be very bright there.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. I've had many an experience at the University of Georgia. Let's talk some Titan football. You ready for the first one? Ready for the first one to get going?
I can't. It's been so long. It's been so long. I can't even.
I know y'all sick and tired. I know y'all are sick and tired of hitting each other, and you want to hit an opponent right now. But what's the adjustment been like for you to deal with this? I don't know. You can call it an extended layoff, and then you're finally getting ready to play some football. How'd you make your adjustments?
Honestly, I didn't really see any adjustment because the way I saw it is I want to play ball. I don't care when it is, as long as I have my senior year, I don't mind. I want to ball out with my brothers one more time, one last ride, and that was my mindset.
Was it tough for you to make the decision not to commit early to Georgia and stay at West Forsyth so you can have your senior year? Because there are some players that I found out here in the state, if they had a chance to go, they got the blessing of their coach. What convinced you to stick around?
Family. I am a very, very, very big family guy, and my brother is currently a freshman, and he's actually playing right now. And me, my mom, and my three little brothers, we're like glue. I promise you, it don't matter how far away, we will never come apart. So it's a really big thing, and to play, he plays JV and I play varsity. For us to wear the same jersey, it's just really cool. We play on the same team, and it's honestly a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I couldn't pass that up.
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Jared Wilson joining us here. This portion of Titans Talk brought to you by Beamer Tire and Auto. We're getting to know the young man. Your coach said something earlier in the program that I think is really important to him, and I can tell it's really important to you. That's your core up front. That's the offensive line. 4 starting seniors along that offensive line. How important is that going to be for you guys coming into this season and moving forward as the games progress?
I think it's a really big deal that we're all close. We all talk, we all communicate, we don't argue, we don't do none of that extraness. We do what we need to do, to keep the O-line tight and do what we do best, and that's dominate and block. So, and we're real tight. We're real tight.
How about the running backs? Coach told me they were real tight along with the rest of the offense. And you mentioned a key word, and that's communication. How important is that going to be, the communication between not just the line mates, but the backfield mates, the quarterback, and everybody, just to keep pushing each other forward?
I think communication is a big deal in the game because, if you don't communicate for the guy you're blocking for, I don't think you're really going to have any success. And like you said before, those two guys back there, Tay and Nazion, they are also like glue. They are everywhere together. They go everywhere. They always with each other. They're like brothers, and their communication is as strong as our communication on the O-line. So it's just great all the way around.
This is Jared Wilson, the Georgia commit, joining me here on the premiere edition of Titans Talk, and thank you all for joining us. I've interviewed a lot of offensive linemen, and some would be okay just to be around their teammates. Some wouldn't be okay, and just talking to you, I can tell you love not just being around your line mates and your backfield mates in the offense, but just being around this team. And your coach mentioned something to me: love each other. That's the Leo personality. You pull for each other. You pick each other up when you're down. How important is it to have that culture established and already in place for the guys that are coming behind you?
I think it's a really big deal. We pave the way for the younger guys, and we set a good example. And you always pick your teammates up when they're down. we all got one common goal, tomorrow, and that's win that game. It's just step one, go game by game. At the end of every week, your goal is to be 1-0. And, that's the goal all the way around.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Goals to be 1-0 every week. Jared Wilson joining us. Let's do some quick hits. First player that got you into playing football?
My mom. She wasn't even a player. It was my mother.
Oh, wow. How'd you get you into playing football?
Funny story. She made me my freshman year.
Moms do that, don't they? All right. Favorite NFL player of all time?
Probably Larry Allen.
And I can't lie, because I love watching Larry Allen.
Animal.
What attracts you to him? What attracts you to him and the way he plays?
He's so athletic. It's just ridiculous how well he moves, and it's just like I can't even explain it. He moves so well. He's really strong.
Yeah.
Nasty. Once he steps on that field, it's like a switch just turns on, and it's just the monster comes out, and I love it.
And Larry Allen was one of those underrated offensive linemen, though he's in the Hall of Fame, because no one knew about Sonoma State until the Cowboys drafted him. Then you saw him play for the Cowboys, saw him play for the 49ers, and like you said, he was just nasty when the lights turned on.
Disgusting. He was disgusting.
Yeah, that he was. Favorite running back of all time?
Ooh.
All right. How about your top three? Let's do that. How about your top three?
Probably not in this order. We're gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Reggie Bush.
Dig it.
Bo Jackson.
Okay.
And Marshawn Lynch.
I like it.
Beast mode in there.
I like it. You can't have a list without beast mode. How about your favorite quarterback of all time?
QB. Mike Vick was smooth.
Okay. If you could block for any one player, be it a running back, a fullback, or a quarterback, who's that player?
Probably Tom Brady. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. Favorite receiver of all time?
Megatron. Yes, sir.
Okay. I like Megatron, but I like the fellow who preceded him. That's Jerry Rice.
Megatron. I go Megatron.
Come on. All right. How about your favorite defensive player of all time?
That's a lot. That's a lot. I'll probably go Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor. There you go. We agree with that. Love some Lawrence Taylor. Favorite team?
Just because it's a family team, the Cowboys.
The Cowboys? Okay.
It's a family thing.
I have a favorite. It's a family tradition. I will admit this, and I've admitted it on my morning show. I do have a few favorite Cowboys, but if there's one that's my all-time favorite, it's Darryl Johnston, the Moose. It's their fullback. Did your family get you into liking the Cowboys?
Honestly, it's just like I watch the NFL, but I don't really have a specific team because I don't really find the NFL, that I don't really like to watch it. I like college football a lot more, but since whenever football is on, the Dallas Cowboys play, that's what game we're on. No matter who is playing, the Dallas Cowboys are on. So
love it. Absolutely love it. How about your favorite college football team aside of Georgia, which you're going to be attending next year?
Probably Clemson.
Clemson. Okay. Staying in the ACC. All right. I love it. One more before we get out of here for the evening. Who'd you pick in the national championship game? Ohio State or Alabama?
Honestly, I went Ohio State.
You went Ohio State?
I thought Justin Fields was going to pull it out, but didn't do so well, I guess.
Yeah, when they jumped them early. Alabama jumped them real early. That's the big fella Jared Wilson, who's heading to Georgia, becoming a part of How About Them Dogs? And our program this evening brought to you by Stanford Manufacturing. This segment brought to you by State Farm. Contact Kim Bates in Winston-Salem for all of your insurance needs. I'll be ready for you, my man. I can't wait to call you guys this game. Let's go get him. Let's go get him tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. That'll do it for this premiere edition of Titan Talks. We are presented by Stanford Manufacturing as well as State Farm with Kim Bates as your agent and Beamer Tire and Auto. Let me thank Coach Adrian Snow for joining me as well as offensive lineman Jared Wilson for joining me. Follow us all season long on Tobacco Road Sports Radio. I'm Brian Snow, and I'm out of here. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Titan Stadium.